What will happen if you bite into, say, pepper chicken? You have made a good bowl of pepper chicken. You don't roast one full chicken, you add pepper, you put maybe soya spice, I don't even know what you're adding there. But you have now finished and you are sitting down to enjoy this soya pepper chicken. Once you take a bite, when you don't bite, I'm waiting to happen. Good morning everybody. This is day 9 of the Shape of African program and I'm Auntie Z coming to you live from the beautiful city of Hamburg, Germany. Today in our walk and talk we want to just continue from where we left off yesterday, and may I just say I crushed it yesterday. 6 kilometers, guys. New goal this week, 6 kilometers walking every single day, and I crushed it. I actually did 6.6 kilometers. Amazing. Auntie Zino they play. This fat must die by force, by fire. So we are about smashing it and crushing it every single day, taking one day at a time. Yes. So today I woke up a little bit late. Instead of starting at 6 o'clock, I'm starting at 6:30 this morning. So I have to be really quick if I have to crush these 6 kilometers and take my kids to school this morning. So let's just get right into it. If you didn't watch the last video yesterday, we were talking about the sources of protein. So make sure that you click to watch above, in the link above. Watch that video. Check out the different sources, plant and animal sources of proteins, and you'll be amazed at the African foods that are high in proteins. That's what we talked about yesterday. So as I promised, today we're talking about the protein story. So remember, when we started this series, we talked about food. And we said that food is information. Food and information, you get a story where it carries script. You know, it's like a movie where it carries script. So every food carries a script with information on how that food is going to be processed in the body. It's the same thing with proteins. Proteins also has its own story, has its own script, and also works with other actors in the body to properly ingest, digest, and assimilate proteins. Okay, so what happens when food gets into the body? The first thing, not food, proteins. What will happen if you bite into, say, pepper chicken? You have made a good bowl of pepper chicken. You don't roast one full chicken, you add pepper, you put maybe soya spice, I don't even know what you're adding there. But you have now finished and you are sitting down to enjoy this soya pepper chicken. Once you take a bite, when you don't bite, I'm waiting to happen. It gets into your mouth, you know, it starts working, enzyme starts working on it. You go down to your small intestines where there is the release of a hormone. There's a release of the word passed me. Wait, make I read them. There is a release of the hormone called cholecystokinin.
Workout paused.
Yes, cholecystokinin, which is also abbreviated CCK.
Workout resumed.
This hormone now is released in the body, and then it tells the pancreas that, oh, let us start making enzymes that are going to help us to digest this chicken that is sitting in your small intestines. So the message that or the script in protein when it is eaten is that it tells the body to release an enzyme called cholecystokinin, CCK, let's just call it like that. So CCK now tells the pancreas that release the digestive hormones that are going to digest chicken. Do you understand? In the small intestine. And also, this hormone CCK is a very talkative hormone. It carries plenty messages, so many messages. So one of which is to tell the body that tell the gallbladder that release the hormone which is going to help digest this chicken, release bile which is going to help digest this chicken. So CCK is there. It's not only saying release the hormone to digest the chicken, it's saying release bile Release bile, release bile. That's one of the messages he sends. Oh. Release bile to help digest this chicken. So digestion now starts taking place. Bile is released. It starts helping in the digestion process. And once this food is digested, that is just the beginning of the story. With digestion doesn't end the story of proteins, or the script doesn't end there. Because once the proteins get into the cells, now there is a bombardment of information, bombardment. It happen, messages, they start bomb for all sides, for cells here. They will now say, oh, now begin to produce peptides, begin to produce amino acids, begin to produce structural proteins, you know, all of those messages. So with digestion in the small intestine, it doesn't end there. When the proteins now, or the chicken, or the whatever is left of the chicken gets into the cells, there are new messages that are being sent out, and so which lead to the production of peptides, which leads to the production of amino acids, leads to the production of structural proteins, all of that jargon that you don't really need to know a lot about. The most important thing is that this chicken will eventually be digested and assimilated in such a way that it's going to produce proteins, structural proteins, peptides, amino acids that are going to now help to build your body. Because remember, we said that proteins are body builders. Okay, they build our body, they build muscle, and apart from that, they also help to keep us full. So the one way go remain also for your belly, they go to keep you full so that you don't go hungry quick. That's why it's so important to get enough proteins, which brings me to the next part of this video. How much of protein should you consume? Excuse me. How much proteins do you consume daily to make sure that you are taking in the right amount that is going to help to build your cells, to build muscles, especially for us who are now on a weight loss journey trying to lose weight. You need enough protein. You know, most of the time when we are very hungry, you're trying to lose weight and you're starving yourself, you are getting so hungry because you are not getting a lot or enough of the foods that are going to keep you full, like the proteins. You understand? So how much is enough? So that's going to depend, as usual, on your age. You know, if a child is not going to consume the same amount as an adult, a woman will not consume the same as a man. Someone who is really active will not consume the same as someone who is sedentary, meaning someone who is a couch potato, someone who doesn't do any physical activity. So it varies, it depends. Children need their own amount, women need their own amount, breastfeeding women need their own, pregnant women need their own, men need their own, physical active and less physically active people need their own amount of protein. All right, so it is also important to know that official nutrition sites or official nutrition organizations, they vary a lot on the amount that they are giving or they specify for protein intake, daily protein intake. So there's a kind of a variation, although there's a general recommendation that we should consume 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Does that make sense? That means that for every 1 kilo of body weight that you have, you should consume 0.8 grams.
1 kilometer completed.
Thank you. You should
Duration
consume
12 minutes 27 seconds.
You should consume 0.8
Average
grams
pace 12 minutes
of
27
protein.
seconds
Or
per
you should consume,
kilometer.
I think, 0.36. if
Estimated
I'm not
total
mistaken.
time
Yes,
1 hour 14 minutes 42
grams of
seconds.
protein per pound if you're calculating your weight in pounds. So for every pound that you weigh, you eat 0.36 grams. Okay, I'm not going to tell you to go and do calculation, mathematical calculation at the moment. So generally you should need to know that a sedentary woman, a woman, mature adult woman, who is not really physically active, should consume 46 grams of protein a day. Generally, that's what they advise. I mean, that's the minimum. 46 grams of protein a day. Meanwhile, a man who is also sedentary, meaning he's not too physically active, and an adult, should consume 56 grams of proteins a day. But scientific sources and research papers say that these recommended amounts are far from ideal to obtain a great amount of proteins per day. So they recommend that you should be specific about your protein consumption by calculating the number of kilograms that you weigh or pounds that you weigh and multiplying it by either that 0.8 for kilograms or 0.36 for pounds. Do you get? So also you might be asking yourself, oh, now they are saying 46 grams of protein per day. How do I know what 46 grams of protein per day translates into on a plate? How do I know that my chicken thigh that I'm eating how do I know how much proteins is in my chicken thigh that I've eaten? It's a good thing that you already know that there's protein in chicken thigh. First of all, what I want to say is that you need to know which foods are high in proteins, okay? Which foods are high in proteins. I said that in the video of yesterday. Of course, I did not give you any specific amounts, but at least knowing which foods are high in proteins, you will be able to calculate how many grams of proteins you are eating a day. It is good to have an idea of what you are eating, because if you don't, the probability is that you're going to be eating less than you should. So that is the reason why on my Shape of African program, and I recently created a Patreon page. You might be asking yourself, what is Patreon page? It's a page on the web, just like Facebook, that gives us creators like myself, creating content like myself, the opportunity to receive a small payment for what we are doing. So on the Patreon page, I am going to be sharing with you video content showing you how you can combine your African foods in such a way that you reach your daily carb requirements, or you reach your daily protein requirements, or your daily fat requirements. I'm going to be showing you all of that at Patreon. So you want to make sure that you go to www.patreon.com/shapeupafrican and search for me, and then click to become a Patreon. I mean, if you enjoy the content that I share and you want to encourage me, even with as little as $1 or €1 or 1,000 at Patreon, you're able to do that. And you're going to read all about the reasons why I joined Patreon there, and what I'm going to be using your contributions to do. Your contributions are going to help me to buy more equipment, to do more professional videos, to work from home, because to do these videos you can't be working full time. It's so difficult with children. And also, the biggest goal that I have in my food and nutrition journey, or as a food and nutrition professional, health professional, the biggest goal that I have is to create an app with a database where you can put in your food that you consume today, African food, and get a caloric value, a specific and correct caloric value and nutrient value of your food, which is really lacking today. So that is one of the things I want to create, and I can't create that myself because I'm not a specialist, so I have to pay people to do that. So if you would become a Patreon, please join patreon.com. There is a link on my Instagram page as well as my Facebook page, Shape of African, or just go to the web and search for patreon.com/Shape of African, and there you're going to see the options of how to support me. Thank you so much. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe. I will continue sharing content here, but the more specific content I'll be sharing on Patreon, because everybody is different. So your caloric value is not the same like someone who is very, very active. Everything is different. So join Patreon, support and encourage Auntie Z, even if it's with $1, and I'm be very grateful for that. If you love this video, make sure you subscribe below, hit that link below, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.